Do it happily, or I won't leave you until you do it. Jimin warned him. Get aside. I haven't eaten cake yet. Let me go. They started. I won't. Jimin, he whimpered. Why is this photoshoot was stopped? Grandma asked loudly. Don't worry, Grandma. We're just discussing something. Jimin gave a thumbs up to Grandma. It will be the last one, right? Jungkook asked with a rising eyebrow. Promise, it will be the last one. Jungkook assured him. Fine. Jungkook replied. He grabbed Taehyung's hand and pulled him toward him. Jungkook adjusted his camera. He was taken back by the sudden move. He gazed up at him with the pointed eyes, leaned down, and kissed their cheeks softly. He froze at the touch. The wind would knocked out the. Great, Jimin said. Stay like this. Don't move. I have to take few pictures. Done, Jimin said after a few minutes. Jungkook straight up, looking at Tae who was already looking at him. In the whole wide world, he only found this to be best friend with you. He said in a low voice and smiled. A smile would appeared across him after listening him. And that exact moment, Jimin took the picture. Both are looking so adorable, Aunt Han said, and everyone looking at her in surprise. Aunt Han were using sweet word for tea. It seems a miracle. They both are going to have very beautiful kids. It's been 4 months since they get married. They should have give us a good news by now. Aunt Han added, It's not difficult, but impossible for her to get improved. Namjoon said, and shook his head. Jungkook got grip, loosed on Tae. Aunt Han made it very awkward for him. A fear rose in Taehyung's heart that, what if he again distanced himself and ironed for him now, ignoring him like he used to do earlier? They thought for a few seconds, gathering his breath, and said, Iron is enough for us. Jungkook looked at him. What? She asked. I shouldn't hear him properly. They clapped and repeated his word loudly. I said, Iron is enough for us. Actually, more than enough. And they will surely have lovely kids one day. Don't you think so? It's very soon and unfair to pressurize them for having a kid, and their first child is already in fate. They gave them some time to adjust and decide things by himself. For an intelligent boy like this, should not be a big deal. Una's mother said this time. Aunt Han smiled. She only focused on the part. An intelligent boy. Jungkook, how are you, son? Una's mother asked. I'm very well. We meet Ain and Tae frequently. I asked for him about your well-being. Tae and Ain, he said, pulling eyebrows. Yeah, unsteady, his expression. You don't know about it? Jungkook shook his head. Oh, they pay frequently visit to our home with Ain. Jungkook's eyes were short open. Just because of Taehyung insistence, we decided to stay back in Korea. It made us realize that I need our presence. My heart at peace now. That we both are, Ain and you are in a good hand. And I'm so proud of you that you take care of him. I keep asking him about you, and he said that you are a perfect husband. Ain smiled. He paused a moment for her word to sink in. He didn't tell me this. He started and moved the gaze toward Tae. He was standing at the other end of the living room with Namjoon, Chio, and Dan. Next time, you have to come with them. Sure, Auntie. I think we should leave now as well. It's getting late. Dad said, looking at Mom after seeing off on his paints. Taehyung's smile would disappear. They're leaving, they thought. Yeah, you're right. Mom agreed. Thank you so much for your hospitality. Everything was beyond perfect. Mom said, Thank you to all of you make our day extra special with your presence. The son, enjoy your time here. Mom hugged him. I'm really going to miss you, my son. I'll come back soon, Mom. Uh, Stay as many days you want to spend here. I just said we will miss, Mom said lovingly. I miss you too. Namjoon, this is iron bags. They handed a bag to John. He stared at him and down upon him. He moved forward and hugged him. He placed a kiss on his head and said, Take care, they. You know, they were sad. You too, he said. And they meet everyone except Ian and Jungkook. He didn't even look at them for a second. A single glare at Ayn, and he won't be able to stay back. Mr. Kim, Jimin, and Grandma went outside to see the cats off. Jungkook looked around. He was nowhere. Everyone but Hetal in the room. Bye, Jungkook said to Mr. John. His eyes were subconsciously went to the door, but still, there was no one. Cook, come, Job said. He settled down in the car. With iron in his hand, Gio and Dan were sitting with him, whereas Namjoon was sitting on the front passenger seat. Jungkook opened the car door and down in the driving seat. He was deep in thought when Jim and Grandma and Mr. Kim went inside the house. What are you waiting for, Cook? Please start the car. All the cars are gone, except our. They would be crying, they thought. What's wrong? Jungkook looked at Namjoon through the car case in Namjoon's direction, which he catched timely. Jungkook got out the car and opened the back door to kind bag from J-Hope. What are you doing? Dan asked in confusion. We're staying. You can take my car, Jungkook said, a short reply and went away from there. Let's go, Namjoon said, with a smile. Jungkook entered the house again. Mr. Kim and Grandma were sitting on the sofa while Jimin was talking to them. They stopped when they saw Jungkook. Jungkook, is everything alright? Mr. Kim said worriedly. Yeah, it just, we both are staying here too. Jungkook said awkwardly. Is it okay with you? Yeah, why not? Jungkook gave a smile and went upstairs. They were sitting on the edge of the bed, facing his back to the door. A feeling of hollowness crept inside him. I won't cry. I will come soon. It's just a night. It's just a night. She will come back in the morning, he keeps saying to himself. The lump in his thought was getting bigger. With each passing second, the tear was formed in his eyes, but he kept convincing himself otherwise. He was lost in the jumping thought above, when suddenly he heard the door of the room would clicked open and close. The sound of footsteps getting closer to him. They hurriedly wiped the tears off the edge of his eyes and took a deep breath to relax his throbbing heart. Jimin, you can sleep with me, they said in a composed tone. He didn't want Jimin to see us like that. After a few minutes, he moved her gaze toward the left side when he didn't get any response from Jimin. But the moment his gaze met the figure standing beside him, reality dawned upon him. It wasn't Jimin, but Jungkook. With iron in his hand, he gave a longing look to Ayn. It felt like they was losing control over himself. This time, the tears again formed in his eyes. He turned his head while the tears would start rolling down his eyes.